Coming up on the Charge on Air.
Housing prices continue to climb near campus. See how students are reacting.
A new initiative aims to bring more special needs educators to Central Florida.
Right now, you can't register a new RSO. Find out why.
In sports, UCF takes on a partnership with the Special Olympics.
All right, Knights, ready your shields. The Charge on Air starts right now.
Good afternoon and welcome to The Charge on Air. I'm Danielle Strong.
And I'm Jovanni St. Surin. Today is Friday, October 4th, 2024.
As apartment and housing prices continue to rise in Central Florida, students are feeling the pinch, with some saying they can no longer afford student housing. The Charge on Air reporter Bryanna Howard takes a closer look at how students are navigating this issue and what experts are saying about the economic factors behind these rising costs.
It's a growing trend in Central Florida. As the cost of living increases, student housing is no exception. Some students are finding that the cost of nearby campus living is becoming nearly as expensive as renting a regular apartment. Prices for student housing are now comparable to similar-sized units in traditional apartment complexes. Senior integrated business major Tyler Bostic is one student facing similar challenges as Central Florida's housing market becomes increasingly expensive.
So the housing prices it's honestly unfortunate because now for a student like me, with the prices continuing to go up, I really can't really afford to renew my lease here, and I'm going to have to look for an actual apartment like elsewhere because at this rate, the prices are about the same, and I don't think I'll be able to continue paying this type of price every month.
According to economists from realwealth.com, as more people flock to Central Florida, developers are having a hard time keeping up with the demand. That means that rent prices are increasing in regular housing as well as student housing. I spoke to Sheila Potts from the UCF College of Business, and she explained to me why all of this is happening.
But demand's been changing rather rapidly. So overall, just supply and demand is driving prices up. Huge influx of people wanting to live in Florida and moving to Orlando specifically has driven those prices up, not only for apartments, but for housing in general, all housing.
According to realwealth.com, over the past year, the average cost to rent an apartment in Florida has increased by 11.82%. As housing costs continue to rise, experts believe the demand will only grow, potentially making this an ongoing issue for students and renters alike. In Orlando, I'm Bryanna Howard, The Charge on Air.
If you're a student struggling with the rising cost of housing, financial aid assistance may be available. You can contact UCF's Financial Aid Office or Housing Services for support. For more information, visit ucf.edu/financial aid.
This fall, students will not be able to register student organizations. The Charge on Air reporter Bellande walks us through why this is happening.
This semester, students noticed they aren't able to start new registered student organizations. On the Office of Student Involvement website, it says they are making new policies. For many, RSOs are a way to make new friends or connect with people who have similar interests. Marcus Polzer is a student on campus who has a club and tried registering this fall. He explained to us what being an RSO would mean for the organization and the limitations they are facing.
To be an RSO, it's simply a question of having access to resources, being able to table at certain events that are explicitly geared towards students who are looking for ways to interact with student life here on campus.
In previous semesters, starting an RSO was a fairly easy process. It only involved a few steps such as getting students, a faculty advisor, and doing some paperwork. We're here on the OSI page for UCF. If we scroll down, to start an RSO, you need 12 students, an organization president, a faculty advisor, and a constitution. But if we continue to scroll down, we see that during fall 2024, OSI says that due to new policies coming to RSOs, you cannot make one at this time. We had the chance to sit down with Shane Juntunen, a worker in the OSI office. He says that RSO policies needed to be revamped, and it's been a long time since they were updated. He explained this was the only time it made sense to do the update.
And so we felt like doing it during the fall or while school's in session and faculty and staff and everyone's back on campus was the best way for us to do that.
While he recognizes the inconvenience, students can register for new organizations starting in January of next year. In Orlando, Jeremy Bellande, The Charge, on air.
For more information on starting RSOs or the pause, you can go to osi.ucf.edu/RSO.
Although there will not be any new RSOs this fall semester, already existing ones have some good news. After what seems like a pause in 2023, the Lou Frey Institute of Politics and Government announces relaunch of the UCF Student Microgrant Program for campus RSOs this week. These microgrants are for RSOs pursuing campus and community-based initiatives focused on collective, active, address issues of public concern. All UCF RSOs are eligible to apply and could receive up to the $500 in support. However, the funds must be used only for relevant purchases associated with their initiative and be pre-approved. The microgrants are awarded on a rolling basis throughout this academic year until May 2nd, 2025.
Yesterday, the LGBTQ+ Student Support Services hosted its first game night at the Student Union. This month is LGBTQ+ History Month, and in Orlando, they will be recognizing in alliance with their communities by throwing their annual Come Out with Pride Parade on the 19th. At UCF, organizations like the LGBTQ+ Student Support Services hosted their first game night, allowing students to find a safe space and also socialize with others in their community. Junior Social Marketing Manager for the Lavender Council, Taylor Hutchinson, tells us why it's so important to have events like these and bringing young people in the LGBTQ+ communities together.
It's so important to keep having events like this to bring queer people together, especially on places like campuses, because it's just like to get young queer people together, to unite them, to remind them that they do have community with us, especially now in LGBTQ History Month is such a good time to like bring that to a peak.
Taylor says that the Lavender Council will also be throwing more events to commemorate the history of this month, as well as National Coming Out Day on October 11th. For any students looking to get more information about the LGBTQ+ student services, you can check out their Instagram at LGBTQ+ student_UCF.
You know, Jovanni, we've been having so many sunny days. What are we going to see when it's going to get hot again?
Man, it's been so hot. I'm thinking, let's go to the beach. Let's go away, Danielle.
Well, it's not quite the beach, but we got our weather reporter, Sophie Diaz, taking a look out of the shores of Lake Claire. Sophie, how hot is it out there?
I can't lie to you guys. It is sweltering out here. While you guys are caught up in the tunes at the desk, I'm here reporting live from the shores of our very own Lake Claire. While it's no beach, it is very hot. We are enjoying, we just felt a cloud pass overhead. We've been having some sun showers go. We had one lone kayaker. She went back in. I think the heat sent her home. And we had some people working out, jogging, exercising. I think the heat sent them home as well. Unfortunately for us, it is 88 degrees and it's looking to stay hot for the rest of the day.
Sophie, I'm one of the many UCF students going to Gainesville this weekend. Can you let me know what the weather's looking like up there?
So I am afraid to say that Gainesville is not in much better shape than us when it comes to the heat. We're sitting at 87, they're sitting at 85. If you're heading to the game tomorrow, you are going to want to stay hydrated and cover up from the sun. They've got a UV index of 7 heading their way. You're not safe from the sun nor the rage of the UCF Knights over in Gainesville. I would definitely recommend picking up some UCF themed rain gear as well if you're heading that way, because they've got a precipitation of 45% tomorrow. It's not going to be too dry or too cool. So if you're heading to the game, be on the lookout.
Thank you, Sophie. Coming up, how a venomous snake roamed UCF's campus.
Plus, how UCF highlighted Suicide Awareness Month. We'll have more on that after the break.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this is Chip. For more than 100 years, American Humane has been on the front lines protecting animals in times of crisis. From Pearl Harbor to 9/11, the California wildfires, and the coronavirus pandemic, American Humane Rescue has provided life-saving assistance for animals in virtually every major national disaster. If you're anything like me, your pets mean the world to you. And if disaster strikes, you want to keep them safe. To prepare for an oncoming disaster, ensure your pet has secure and up-to-date identification. And if you must evacuate, remember to take your disaster preparedness kit with you. To learn more about disaster planning and how to keep your best friends safe, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
The 29th Earth gained a new visitor from beyond the stars. This weekend, a mini-moon called 2024 PT5 entered Earth's atmosphere. UCF Florida Space Institute researcher Carol Feliciano spoke about the natural phenomenon. She said, "We've only had a few mini-moons in our lifetime, and this one is only 10 meters in diameter. It's also only a matter of time before we get another mini-moon back into our orbit." Feliciano spoke more about what the mini-moon's path is supposed to look like.
It's trying like to get out, and it's moving like very, very, very fast. And then in a moment you get like out of this position, and then it will be free because it will be free of these like strong interaction.
Feliciano added that the mini-moon is too small to view with the naked eye because it's only 10 meters in diameter. It will be in Earth's orbit until the morning of Monday, November 25th. One of the most venomous snakes in North America roam freely on UCF's campus, and chances are you've probably stepped within inches of them. The eastern diamondback rattlesnake is a well-camouflaged creature that has been growing as a population on campus since 2005. UCF Arboretum experts say the snakes gravitated to UCF's woodlands after prescribed fires opened up the vegetation. Despite their threatening rattle and their venom, experts say that they choose to stay hidden and not strike. Arboretum manager John Gazaika says that these snakes are often inches away from people, but it's important to leave them alone.
A student or a hiker does come across a rattlesnake, I suggest you treat it with the same respect and distance that you would treat any other animal in the natural areas. These snakes do not want to come after you. They're not aggressive. They want to hold on to their venom. They're not coming to bite you. They get nothing out of it.
Arboretum officials say that at this time, no one has been bit. To practice safe hiking, they suggest to always go with a buddy, not to mess with the snakes, always watch where you're going, and if you're bit, keep calm and go to the hospital as soon as possible.
This week marks the one-year anniversary of the Palestine-Israel conflict. On Wednesday, several UCF and Central Florida organizations banded together for a vigil at Orlando City Hall for their week of action. For almost 365 days now, continuous violence and bombings have been wrecking the Gaza Strip due to attacks from Israel. In light of the anniversary, these organizations are spreading awareness for the ongoing battle overseas. According to Reuters, this has led to over 40,000 lives lost in the past 12 months, the majority, unfortunately, being children. One of the organizers of the event, Corey Hill, tells us more of the meaning behind this vigil.
We are here to mark the martyrs, those lives lost, The display of each of these tombstones represents 1,000 officially known deaths of children, and we have 42 of them here. So that means there are 42,000 known deaths of children in Gaza since the start of the Israeli aggression.
UCF's and Central Florida's Week of Action will end with a protest in front of City Hall on Monday afternoon. For more details on that, check out at UCF SDS on Instagram. We will also be covering that event, so stay tuned with The Charge on Air for more updates.
Last month was recognized as Suicide Prevention Month, a time dedicated to raising awareness and providing support for those affected by mental health challenges. At UCF, students and faculty have come together to create a supportive environment through a series of events. The Charge on Air reporter Bryanna Howard spoke with organizers and professionals about the importance of suicide prevention.
Suicide Prevention Month at UCF is all about shining a light on mental health and making sure students know that they're never alone. The downtown campus hosted Color for a Cause, an event aimed at providing resources and creating conversations about suicide prevention. Event organizer Fontella Jones explains the goal behind the event.
What we're doing is shining the light on suicide awareness. It is important for us to have conversations about the topic, but we want to make sure we're bringing it to our students instead of waiting for students to come to us with the situation.
The Black Student Union also hosted a general body meeting titled Exploring Mental Health Black College Student Edition, focusing on mental health within the Black college community. The meeting covered how college life can impact mental well-being, providing a safe space for students to discuss challenges and find support. UCF CAPS offers a wide range of mental health resources, from group counseling to individualized therapy. Students can come in for an initial session to determine the best course of action. Vanessa Stein, a psychologist at UCF CAPS, explained to me the common signs she sees in students that may be suffering from mental illness.
Our most standard ones are anxiety and depression. I think after the pandemic, social anxiety or isolation and loneliness has definitely been more prevalent. Just because someone has thoughts doesn't necessarily mean they're going to act on it, but we want to ask the right types of questions so that we can help direct people to resources.
Stein also highlighted CAP's QPR program, which teaches students how to intervene when someone is struggling with suicidal thoughts. For more information about UCF's mental health resources, visit the CAPS office or their website. In Orlando, I'm Bryanna Howard, The Charge on Air.
If you or anyone you know may be having suicidal thoughts, please be sure to call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. After the break, we take a look at our national forecast with our partners from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and see what's in store for the next few days.
And we find out about a partnership between the RWC and the Special Olympics. More coming up after the break.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Meet Norm. He lives with anxiety, but with the help of this latest innovation from Be Normal, he can be normal, just like everyone else. With the swipe of a finger, you can project happiness, confidence, machismo. Why settle for being real when you can be normal? The Normal Maker, new from Be Normal. This item doesn't really work because there's no such thing as normal. We're all different, but we like how our brains work. In fact, 1 in 5 of us live with mental illness. Don't filter who you are. Start by talking to someone you trust. And remember, there is no normal.
Let's take a look at the national forecast with student meteorologist Matt Bitts from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
Well, we are in for a very wet and rainy 48 hours or so across a good portion of the United States this weekend, and that is all because of this upper level jet stream that is steering that rain and snowfall into a couple different regions here. First off is the East Coast. Now this is going to be mainly scattered showers for inland areas, so places along the I-95 corridor like Washington, New York, and Boston. That will be a little drier for you on Friday and Saturday as this system pulls out into the Atlantic. But on the backside of that system, we are looking at slightly cooler temperatures. So places like the Dakotas and Montana, you could be looking at highs 15 to 20 degrees below normal for this time of year. And if we head a little further south into spots like Colorado, Utah, and Nevada, that system is steering the moisture into place, so it could be looking like some showers or snowfall for you at the higher elevations. And if we move a little bit further downstream into the weekend, it's areas like Arkansas and Oklahoma that can see those showers and thunderstorms. Those were your weather headlines. Back to you in the studio.
Hi guys, so we're taking a look at the statewide forecast now. Thank you to Matt from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. If we're looking at the highs, we can see Tampa's in the lead. We're at 90 degrees over there. Here in Orlando, we're only at 89 by 1 point. They beat us. But unfortunately, Gainesville is seeing highs of 87 for those of you that are heading to the game tomorrow. The Palm Coast is seeing temperatures of 85 degrees. Leesburg is seeing a high of 88. Melbourne of 86, so it could be good beach weather. And Winter Haven's at 89. And if we're looking out at the beach weather, since we're talking about the Atlantic, over in the Atlantic, we've got two systems circulating and bringing some rough weather. Unfortunately, not to us, just to the fish out in the sea, but we could see choppy seas and some stirring on the coastline as that continues. Kirk just got downgraded by a bit. It hit a monster category 4, but it's losing strength as Leslie continues to strengthen. And if we're looking at our 5-day forecast, we can see coming up tomorrow, we've got 87 degrees with a low of 77, just a 5% chance of precipitation. So tomorrow might be a good day to spend outside. Sunday, we're going to see highs of 82 degrees, lows of 74. Precipitation jumps a bit on that day with a 40% chance. Monday, it'll be a high of 82, low of 74, 50% chance. So Monday and Tuesday, you might want to keep an umbrella handy. Tuesday, it'll be a high of 82 and a low of 75 with precipitation at 40% once again. And Wednesday, we'll see a high of 80 and a low of 74. So maybe that dip in temperatures is leading to lower temperatures in October for us. Though we might see rain that day with a 70% chance of precipitation. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I might have picked up a tan from my time outside on the shores of Lake Claire. That's all the time I've got for now. Back to y'all at the desk.
Our women's volleyball team took on West Virginia Wednesday night. Stick around to find out the final score.
Well, I definitely can't wait to go see the football game this weekend. We'll check in with Sarah, who has more sports for us after the break.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. Surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Hurricane Helene, devastating impacts on the southeast. Now it's time to help the people and communities who need it most. To make a one-time financial gift to the American Red Cross, scan the QR code on the screen. Make sure to select I want to support Hurricane Helene and enter how much you'd like to donate. Or go to redcross.org/donate. Together, we will make a difference for those recovering in hard-hit communities.
But I've got to shoot how crazy it is at UCF right now.
What's up, Knights? I'm Sara Castillo. All right, now I know I'm wearing orange, but let's not get it twisted. I am not a Gator, I'm a Knight. We're from the Kingdom, not the Swamp. So while we'll be talking about the Gators in just a second, first we gotta talk about last weekend. Last Saturday, UCF faced a saddening fate, losing 48-21 against Colorado. The Knights are currently 1-1 in conference play. Tomorrow night, UCF will be taking the Gators on in Gainesville at the Swamp. The last time the two teams played each other was in the Gasparilla Bowl back in 2021 when the Knights won 29-17. As of right now, UCF is 3-1 while UF is 2-2. October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and a notable partner of the month is Special Olympics Florida. Charge Under reporter Jovanni Surin tells us more about how UCF is partnering with Special Olympics this fall.
According to the National Center for Education Statistics, students who receive special education make up about 15% of public school enrollment. Millions of students with disabilities can face exclusion in school sports. Although this may sound alarming, UCF Intramural Sports is looking to combat these statistics. UCF IMs is teaming up with Special Olympics Florida to host a unified basketball league. Freshman Pierre Doris says the league provides plenty of special moments for students like him.
Best part is making friends, enjoying playing basketball, having fun, scoring points, and yeah, getting the team involved and having fun. Favorite memories, trying my best, our best, try to get a win.
The league pairs athletes with intellectual disabilities with those who do not have intellectual disabilities. After a one-year absence, the league is back and in full effect. In the past, UCF hosted a one-day unified basketball tournament. In 2022, the league was introduced, and after a year on hold, it's back every Monday night through the end of October. The league hosts 4 teams each Monday night from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Special Olympics Club President Morgan Kukui says the league provides a sense of togetherness for these athletes.
UCF is such a big school. We have like one of the biggest student bodies in the country, and sometimes I think it can feel lonely. And having a club that's all about inclusion can create a sort of outlet and a family for people who are new, for students.
Kukui says the UCF Special Olympics Club has more events planned this fall. In Orlando, Jovanni Surin, The Charge on air.
The Unified League's next games will be on Monday, October 7th at the RWC. On Wednesday, UCF Volleyball swept West Virginia in its Big 12 home opener. This was the Knights' first win against a Big 12 team. Junior outsider hitter Emily Wilson led the team in kills with 13 for the night. The Black and Gold previously lost the past 3 games. Kansas and Kansas State, which were part of those 3 games, were the first 2 Big 12 teams in a 16-game conference stretch. After those losses, head coach Jenny Mars said the team needed to focus on finding the middle blockers.
Finding our middles, especially in transition, you know, they can be a significant part of our offense, not just because they're productive, but it also opens up both of our pins. And so we found them at some key moments, both Sasha and Lex.
Will be against Cincinnati. They'll be playing on Saturday in the Fifth Third Arena in Ohio. All right, guys, that's all I got for you in sports. Back to Danielle and Giovanni at the desk.
Thank you, Seta.
That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our website, thechargenews.com.
Thanks for watching and have a good day.